Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News, brought to you by Colourful in the post-truth apocalypse. I'm Ben, and I'm here hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
And Claire.
Hey.
This is what we do now, it's our little sideshow, and we will go through some weird shit we found on the internet this week. The weirdest stories we could find, all the most interesting.
We've collated for you.
In a
tonight.
smorgasbord of crap. There's one from our hometown, our home county, Shropshire in the UK. Is it a UFO sighting hotspot? People have been seeing that. A big flyy triangle.
It's Mothman.
Could be moth. It does look a bit like Mothman, doesn't it?
It does.
Looks like a moth on the camera, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a moth on the camera.
I think you'll find it's Mothman. You can see, look right down the middle there, legs.
Mm.
So, a mysterious flying triangle has been spotted in the sky over Shropshire in recent weeks. The latest of unexplained goings-on stretching over decades. Is the county a hotspot for UFOs? The flying Dorito, as it become known, was spotted near Sleep Airfield near Wem and over the Wrekin, which is a big hill in Shropshire by us. These sightings, the former described as aircraft making a humming noise, prompted Nigel Heyman to use your questions to ask us to investigate. I'm assuming your questions is the name of the piece the Shropshire Star does. I don't know, I don't read the Shropshire Star. It's not for the first time we have looked into what inhabits the skies with Shropshire. In 2010, actor John Challis joined BBC Inside Out to look for UFOs from Lith Hill in Shrewsbury. The town's UFO Investigations and Research Unit described the hill as a high-intensity area for sightings at the time, but no flying objects appeared for the BBC cameras.
Research unit.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know, I'll look into this. I'm going to try and join the Shropshire UFO Research Unit. Christian Delaney of the Shropshire Paranormal and UFO Society, that's what I want to be in, said he'd seen UFOs over the county for a number of years. He said, quote, "I've seen something yellow that looked like a cigar do a figure of 8 over the Wrekin for 3 or 4 minutes, getting faster and faster. And on Lith Hill, a UFO appeared and the light got bigger and bigger, like it was expanding and then changed colour. I don't know what it is about Shropshire, but they do seem to have quite a presence here," he said.
He has to say that he's seen UFOs, really, doesn't he, if he's head of the Shropshire Paranormal and UFO Society?
Yeah.
I guess he does, but at the same time...
And what were they? He was the only witness at the time, I imagine, as well.
There'd be a group of them, so I don't know. Former UFO investigator for the Ministry of Defence, Nick Pope, friend of the show, I think, at this point. We mentioned him enough.
Whether he likes it or not, whether he knows about it or not.
Whether he knows about it or not. We're calling him a friend of the show, the same as Satan.
And Bigfoot.
And Bigfoot, they're friends of the show.
Jimmy Savile.
No. No, he's not a friend of the show. No, he's not. So anyway, we had the 3 popes of the show.
Oh, yes. Alex Jones, Tony Blair, the 3 saints.
The 3 saints, St. Tony, St.
David
Alex and St. Ike.
Yeah.
And then you had the friends of the show underneath them.
Yeah.
Satan, Bigfoot, Nick Pope.
Yeah, the triumvirate of bullshit.
He said, "Shropshire certainly seems to be something of a UFO hotspot. I personally investigated a fascinating wave of sightings in 1993, centred on RAF Cosford and RAF Shawbury," he said. A meteorological officer at Shawbury described seeing a vast triangular-shaped craft flying slowly over the base, making a low-frequency humming sound, like this one was reported with, before suddenly accelerating away many times faster than a military jet, he said.
That's interesting.
It is.
But the flying Dorito could have been hang gliders.
I was thinking they looked like a hand glider.
It could have been, or it could have been people seeing the last airworthy Vulcan bomber, which stopped flying last year. Big triangular shaped thing, isn't it? Not many people would know what one of those is. Or a B-2 stealth bomber, rarely flown in the UK. I suppose the Americans would overfly now and again if they'd have permission, wouldn't they?
Spock.
Or Spock.
He was a Vulcan, wasn't
He was, but there was the Vulcan was part of the V-Force, which dropped our nuclear bombs. Victor, Valiant and Vulcan. 3 types of nuclear bomber we had, which ironically were obsolete by the time they came into service because missile technology.
It's ironic considering the Vulcans are meant to be a peace-loving race, aren't they?
They're meant to be, yeah.
I always thought they were a bit wary, but they were like, because they considered every other race inferior to them.
No, they're not wary at all.
I think they see war as illogical, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They still have warships and shit though.
Well, I think they've got to defend themselves, but I don't think they aggressively start wars like the other ones.
Well, anyway, the Vulcan bomber is first of all a delta wing craft, so it's got 2 big, looks like a big triangle.
It's not going to be going in a figure of 8 round the Reekin though, is it?
No, he said cigar for that one.
Oh, right, okay.
But this is it's a beautiful aircraft, the Vulcan. Considering it was designed to drop A-bombs, it's fucking gorgeous.
It could be a secret project.
Could be a secret project. They would fly it around here, wouldn't they? We're fairly sparsely populated. Or a drone, or even a hang glider, or a power hang glider. Or this Rotary very easy aircraft at an angle. They must use them at Cosford or something.
They're just your light wing aircrafts, aren't they? Some of them.
Yeah. For the last few years, only 4 reports of UFOs, including a helicopter, which none were suspicious. Though Mr. Pope did say that aircraft lights, weather balloons, meteors, satellites, and Chinese lanterns could be mistaken for UFOs. Don't forget the moon. People really do want to think there's something out there, he said. Additionally, people's mistrust of government fuels conspiracy theories, and the idea that the authorities are covering up the truth about UFOs is a popular one. Although I should say that there's no smoke without fire.
No smoke without fire.
No smoke, that's my mantra when it comes to UFOs. No smoke without fire. And while the skeptics have to be right every day, the believers only have to be right once.
I say that. Well, it takes one, doesn't it? All these could be bollocks.
Yeah.
But the one in Brazil is true, and that's what it takes.
What about Kelly Hopkinsville being true?
There's no way that's true.
That's fucking could be true. Could be true as any of the others.
Hillbillies on moonshine, shooting at owls. We've gone through this.
I don't care. I still think it's the most unique one ever. We do get a lot of stuff seen in the sky. You've seen something, Mike?
Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah. I seen a UFO.
I never have.
Purple object that was behind the trees and just shot off dead fast. Now, did I see it? Was it a figment of imagination? I'd been playing on the computer about 10 hours straight.
A Mega Drive at that point.
I think it was my Atari.
Wow. But still, I think we were in the perfect position to be a test bed for secret government projects, aren't we? We're not that far over the border from Wales. RAF does a lot of stuff in Wales, through the valleys.
Yeah, we're not too populated, are we?
No, that's it. You know, especially over Wemway.
Yep.
There's some more country up there. Here you go, here's a Black Friday story for you, Mike.
Black Friday sex robot deal saves £200. She'll give you warm cuddles and tell jokes.
What more do you want, eh?
Bargain.
No offence, Claire. Yeah, you're married, sorry.
As Britain faces its worst ever winter with plummeting temperatures, you need to stay warm. Luckily you can thanks to a Black Friday deal on Emma the Sex Robot. AI Tech UK has cut prices on its range of high-tech sex robots by more than £200.
Oh, there we go.
Down from 2000.
Yes.
So it's still 1800, yeah.
I don't know.
Emma the Sex Robot has full artificial intelligence. She can chat to you about geography, history or maths, and even tell you jokes and stories with a range of facial expressions. Emma can also speak English and Chinese, and even translate between the two, in case you ever need a translator for an international business meeting.
Which you might want to do.
Taking a sex doll to an international business
Change
meeting.
to my secretary.
I mean,
Hi.
translation mode, Emma.
You can wake her up by calling her name, and she even has heating features.
At least
Heated
she's not
breasts.
Yeah, cold rubber titties.
AI Tech's sex robots are fully customisable, allowing you to choose everything from their faces to their toenails.
Wow.
Don't want one with skag feet, do you?
Well, you might.
They're also made of food-grade silicone, which means you can even eat off them when your dishwasher breaks.
What?
Yeah, well, you can't wash up your dishes. You
Spag
eat
bol
off
off her breasts.
There you go. Well, I'm aroused.
The sex robots also include a free flight case so you can take your new companion on holiday with you anywhere in the world.
Wow.
You don't even have to pay for a seat. Nice one.
That's it, boom. Bit more for luggage though, innit?
Yes, there we go.
Founder of the International Congress on Love and Sex with Robots, Dr. Daniel Levy, said that there are people who have feelings of love for their sex dolls, so I think the potential is there for a large amount of humans to fall in love with sex robots. But that technology isn't there yet, but by 2050, maybe. We'll carry on a conversation better.
I'm still here in 2050, I'm getting a sex robot.
You're not going to be here in 2025, mate!
Oh,
Yeah, but it'll be like well scripted, like Google, wouldn't it?
I don't know, in 2050, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it'd be like having a conversation with a normal person. It'd be that fluid. They can do it now with Google Assistant.
Yeah, that Google Assistant was shit hot.
So 2050, man, they're going to be like indistinguishable between a human, I think.
It will, I'll probably have to tell you at the start you're speaking to an AI or something.
I mean, even when you look at them.
Oh, right, yeah. Were you talking Westworld?
Now you can see because you can see the rubber face and everything, can't you?
We're talking Westworld.
Yeah, when she's wanking you off, you can still hear the mechanisms going.
Oh, you had to call a maintenance team in.
Needs oiling. By 2050, man.
2050, I want Westworld.
Oh yeah.
That's what if we're going to do it, I want Westworld.
I want a self-cleaning robot though.
Well, they clean them out at the end of every shift, don't they?
No, I mean, if you have one in your house.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be cleaning dried cum out of it.
Jesus Christ.
It wouldn't sweat, so you could like ask it to get in the shower, couldn't you? Keep it clean.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be hosing down your sex robot on the lawn outside, do you?
You gotta really get in them crevices.
Oh my god, just imagine that in your back garden.
Oh my
God. Terry's cleaning his sex doll again.
That's the third time this week. He must be really throwing it up. He needs a girlfriend. Oh man.
Needs a self-cleaning model. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Right then. Preacher claims alien tried to have sex with her in wild TV interview.
Is this during the interview the alien was having sex with her?
I don't think so. It's just a wild. I don't know what makes a wild interview. So, religious author Sharon Gilbert has claimed an alien visited her in the form of her husband and asked her to have sex with her. So, is he dead or what?
No, her husband's very much alive. There was two of them. We'll get to it.
Right. Okay.
This is crazy. You need to read this through. Don't judge it just yet.
So many questions.
Don't ask questions just yet.
Right, she discussed the encounter in detail while speaking on the Jim Baker show.
Jim Baker, he's a
Baker.
he's a twat of the show, isn't he?
Yeah.
We've had him a few times.
Likes.
A self-described Christian pathetic. It's a Bible show.
Yeah, they say everything's going to shit, but buy our stuff.
So a clip from the show of Gilbert's story was posted on Twitter by a writer and friendly atheist contributor Herman Meta. Posted a video with a caption, and I quote, "End Times preacher Sharon Gilbert says that an alien imitated her husband and tried to have sex with her. Then it claims to be Xerxes, and then Jesus got involved." What? And then the alien turned out to be a reptile with a pose of a posse of gargoyles. This is a dream.
Has to be, doesn't it?
But she's spouting this on live television.
Well, what's the interview? I'd just be there, agape, just going, what?
This is Jim Baker. He's an end times prophet, and he makes his money grifting off the desperation of others by pretending to believe in Jesus. He doesn't give a shit. This is getting him ratings.
Right, the video has been viewed over 2.6 million times, with many noting disbeliefs in the replies. Speaking on the show, Gilbert said, After Derek, I got married and this other Derek appeared in our bed. Another Derek.
After Derek and I got married, this other Derek appears in our bed, yeah.
Yeah, so she's in bed with Derek, and then all of a sudden there's another Derek.
She's tripping.
There's 2 Dereks in her bed. She's in a bed full of Dereks.
The real Derek is lying down next to me. The other Derek sits right up out of him. Sounds like some ghosty, paranormal shit.
Yeah.
She says it startled her.
Oh shit.
I knew that it was not Derek, so I asked this critter who you are.
Who are you?
Who are you? Because he clearly wanted to have sexual relations. He said, I'm your husband. I said, who are you? He had the nerve to claim to be Xerxes. Then Derek seriously wanted to invite me to use my free will to do something that I was going to pull me away from God.
Oh fuck.
Oh dear. Gilbert went into further detail about the roles that Jesus played in her defeating the alien. She also noted that this other Derek was joined by some other smaller creatures. They're just all coming into the bedroom.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's fantastic, but it gets better.
The last time I knew, he was really desperate, and I asked him again, who are you? He told me the same answer again, and I said, I'm not going with you. This was an internal dialogue. Finally, I said, I've had enough in my mind.
So she's telepathically communicating with other Derek,
Right,
who just wants to have sex with her, won't tell her who he is.
right.
Apart from the fact that he's Xerxes. I am Xerxes. No, there is no Derek, only Xerxes.
Zool.
Zool.
Same Xerxes from 300, yeah? Is that the same guy?
I'm assuming so. I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, unless there's some kind of... She's just putting that name out of the air.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm guessing he's based on a real character, wasn't he?
He wasn't as outlandish as the film.
Obviously not. And they didn't have immortals either that look like reptiles.
No, they didn't. Good film, though. Good film.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, I reached up and grabbed his face and said, you're a liar and Jesus is real. I pulled that face off and beneath was a reptile.
Reptilian called Xerxes. I am Xerxes. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she describes these little creatures as little halfling creatures. They look like gargoyles. They were really reptilian as well. Beneath the face of Derek was a reptilian serpentine creature.
Well, there you go. Mad Christian woman has argument with a clone of her husband who's actually a reptile and has brought his little posse of gargoyles. And they want people to believe that shit.
She missed out on a trick, didn't she?
Oh, Jesus saved her, obviously.
She missed out on a trick.
Why's that?
Reptilian muff diving.
Oh, yeah.
Flicking that tongue in and out.
Yeah. Yeah, but they'd be really good at that. Yeah. And don't they have a barbed penis?
Apparently so. That's probably not so good.
That's really not so good.
Well, what's her husband doing while all this
He's
is
asleep.
going on?
He's just asleep. He's really been made unconscious by the powers of Xerxes, the reptilian demon.
Yeah. I think it's a dream.
I think it's a dream.
I think she's a fucking lunatic. Alright then, Dad spends £20,000 to buy former British Army tank and then use it for taxi service. Seems excessive.
Ace?
Seems ace. The 17-foot armoured beast drinks petrol like water, but it makes light work of potholes, and with comfy seats, a TV and even an oven, Merlin Batchelor's FV432 is the coolest car on his street.
Merlin Batchelor?
He's called Merlin and he drives a tank. Yeah.
I bet he's turfing up the road, making potholes for that thing.
Yeah.
No, if it's less than 20 tonnes, the road can take it. I thought it was an armoured personnel carrier. It's the Vietnam model, isn't it? It's the one that's famous in Vietnam. Yeah, you see the APCs in Vietnam films. The Americans had them, they were quite famous.
Did they?
Yeah.
I bet it's not a taxi service. It'll be sort of like, you know, rent it for your wedding or you do. It won't be like popping down the shop. Give a lift.
No, he's not going to do that, is he? He's not using it as an Uber.
No.
No.
Would cool if you did, though.
Yeah. Strictly speaking, Merlin Bachelor's pride and joy is an FV-432 armoured personnel carrier, not an actual tank. So it probably weighs not a lot. They're not armoured really heavily, those things. I don't hazard a guess, I'd say it's less than 10 tonnes.
But is it legal to drive? It must be.
Yeah. Merlin pays just £240 a year insurance, about a third of what he sells out on his Honda Civic.
Well, of course. Nothing's going to damage that, is it? Do you mean paying anything?
I don't know.
So he's spent 20 grand on it, right? He's paying £240 a year in insurance, and if he gets approval to run it as a taxi, he plans to charge £600 an hour and £200 for every hour afterwards, with room for up to 9 passengers. So yeah, you'd either drop you off at the fucking pub or something for an end night,
Or the church for the wedding.
or a church for the wedding, which I think should be a thing. I'd pay for that. There's all the mod cons inside, as well as comfy upholstered seats, and Merlin has added a TV and a stove. He has been using the former military vehicle to do his weekly shop at Asda, and to take his 4 daughters, aged 1 to 13, to their local park in Norwich, Norfolk. Why did I buy it? He said. I just wanted a tank.
Fair enough.
I always wanted to build a castle one day, and it just seemed to go with the whole defensive theme. I like this guy, he's called Merlin, wants to build a castle. It was sitting in someone's field for 40 years before I bought it. There are a few downsides, obviously. The FV-432 travels about 6 miles for every gallon of fuel. Merlin says, last week the petrol station attendant said it was the most entertaining thing he'd ever seen. As soon as he's just pumping petrol into it constantly.
Yeah, but they're loving him.
But that's balanced with a very smooth ride once you're rolling. Merlin says that it's pretty good with potholes, it's like sitting in jelly.
Can't say it'd get up to much speed, you know. How fast can they go?
20 miles an hour? I was limited to 20 miles an hour, I reckon I could do 40.
Well, he's gonna... Can't you get done for going under the speed limit as well?
You can, it's limited to 20, and I guess I'd take that into account. Doesn't look that good inside. Looks alright.
I thought it was all going to be pimped out.
So I was expecting more to be... I was expecting more...
Top speed's a shade over 30.
Yeah. Well, it can go for 360 miles on a full tank, which is probably not going to cost you a fucking fortune.
Yeah. He's only got licence to carry passengers for weddings and funerals at the moment.
The funeral one could be fun though, couldn't it? Right, when
I don't know, Ben.
If anything,
I've never thought, I'm going to go to a funeral, I need to make this more fun. This has to be more, I'm going to get a tank.
Mike.
Fuck it, I'm going in a tank.
Number one, you can't spell funeral without fun. You can't, it's impossible. And two, if anything ever happens to me, you have permission to use some life insurance money to hire this guy for you lot to turn up in. I want you all to turn up behind the hearse in this tank.
Do you want me to fire your ashes at the French?
Yes, yes I would. Actually,
drive it to the White Cliffs of Dover and just fire at the French.
No, I want my
one last defiant moment.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. No, I want you to fire it at Parliament, Mike. That's what I want you to do.
I don't think they're going to let me do that.
They will. What you're going to do is go on to HMS Belfast, rotate the gun turret, load me in.
Because at the moment it's pointed at Watford Gap.
It is. It's pointed at the service station there. But I want you to aim it at Parliament and fire me at them. The show will have broke up by the time it hits Parliament, and my ashes are going to scatter over it. There's a final fuck you. Why waste my only earthly remains on the French, eh? Or you fire me at the back of a plane over Burnley's football stadium and it comes into a dust cloud and says, fuck you. I want a tank now. If I win the lottery, I'm buying a tank. Fuck me, this is a terrible one.
Next up, blind dad tormented by 7-foot Grim Reaper and bloodthirsty Vikings and daily hallucinations.
Well, fuck me, that sounds horrifying.
Crikey.
Yeah. Nathan Foy, 41, jokes he was born with the eyes of a 65-year-old with congenital glaucoma, which gave him limited sight, but things took a dramatic turn 3 years ago. As his vision suddenly worsened, the dad of 2 from Cardiff began to fill in the blanks of what he could no longer see. Nathan now sees a funny side of his hilarious and often harrowing imagination.
Jesus.
But it initially plunged him into depression. He told the Daily Star, "I've seen some harrowing stuff that's just nasty to look at." Oh, I wonder what sort of shit he's seeing.
The Grim Reaper, Vikings wielding axes coming at him.
And they come from your memory or something, maybe a horror film, but your brain is just filling in that gap. People with injuries, bits missing, blood. Fortunately, it's not very often, but it's quite emotive when you see that stuff. It's things you wouldn't necessarily want to look at. Having said that, I probably saw them in a horror film when I was a teenager, and now I'm paying the price.
Fucking hell, so don't watch horror films, kids. You might go blind in later life. Start seeing all that shit.
Jesus. The England and Wales blind cricket team player.
I'm sorry, what?
The England and Wales blind cricket team player.
How does that work?
Haven't they got bells on the,
Must
on
have,
in
yeah.
the ball and stuff?
They do blind football, don't they?
Oh, I guess so. But you got to catch it in cricket. That's going to be difficult.
Yeah. He recalled how he once got a fright from a towering cloak-clad figure standing over him with a scythe.
Fucking hell.
Nathan said, "I've seen the Grim Reaper a few times. The very first time I saw him was when I was first getting these serious hallucinations. It was almost Halloween time and it really shocked me."
Fuck me. Still. If you woke up and you see the fucking Grim Reaper standing over, I think I'd just have a heart attack and die on the spot.
Yeah.
And shit, it was all true.
Yeah.
Ah. Fucking hell.
He was like 7 foot tall or something. He got the whole outfit on, skeleton hands and stuff like that. Fucking hell.
That's the sort of thing you could go to CBT for, isn't it?
I think he needs to go to Summit.
It's amazing. Horrific, but...
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I don't want that.
But now, thanks to guide dogs, he's learned how to cope with his hallucinations known as Charles Bonnet syndrome, where there is a disconnect between the eye and the brain.
Oh, so I guess if the dog's not responding, you know everything's alright,
Yeah.
you? The dog starts barking, you got some fucking problems.
One hallucination Nathan has grown used to is a fire-breathing dragon in the kitchen. You open this oven to a waft of hot air and I just see this sort of dragon's head breathing fire. Oh, that must be pretty cool though, mustn't it?
Yeah, it would actually.
Sounds like something off Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
He said it's not a boring life, I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's constant entertainment. It's like watching a movie, you know, all the time.
I still don't want it.
No.
You know? I don't want that shit.
He's partially sighted though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if...
The bits that he can't see, the brain just fills in with his images.
Imagine your brain sort of, in the first instance, having all of its retinal functions, and then going to being partially sighted. It's you know, there's a certain amount of information that your brain used to be taking on. So yeah, I can see why it might fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Still wouldn't want to see that though.
No.
Don't fancy that.
I wouldn't mind it for an hour or so and just seeing what it was like. Not permanently.
Just take some drugs, mate.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Take some acid.
I think people that are born blind could get it, because if they weren't having that retinal
They haven't got the
information,
images stored in the brain.
They haven't got the images stored in their brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't think... I think it's just if you become blind, partially blind. Mad, innit?
It is.
Right,
Oh, 'tis no man, 'tis a ravenous sea beast.
man banned from all-you-can-eat barbecue for eating too much.
Oh.
That's no man. That's a remorseless eating machine.
Yeah.
A Chinese food live streamer says he's been blacklisted from a grill buffet restaurant for eating too much. He is known as Mr. Kang, and he told Yuan TV that he was banned from the Hyundai, Handaddy seafood barbecue buffet in Changsha City after a series of binges. He ate 1.5 kilograms of pork trotters during his fourth visit,
Fucking hell.
and 3.5 kilograms to 4 kilograms of prawns on another visit. Crikey. Mr. Kang said that the restaurant is discriminatory against people who can eat a lot. And he goes, I can eat a lot, is that my fault? He said that he didn't waste any of the food at all.
Fair enough.
He's ate 3 plastic lobsters.
The restaurant owner told the same reporter that Mr. Kang was putting him out of pocket. Every time he comes, I lose a few hundred yen. Yuan, he said. Yuan.
Even when he drinks swim, he can drink 20 or 30 bottles.
20 or 30 bottles and eat all that food. Yeah, when he eats the pork trotters, like when you're at the all-you-can-eat,
Yeah.
you just pick a couple off.
Yeah, he said he
consumes the whole tray. Do you think he picks the whole tray?
Yeah.
He does with the shrimps and the prawns, sorry. Usually people use tongs with them, but he uses a tray to take them all. So, thank you.
Oh dear. So with the story trending on Chinese social media, he's racked up more than 250 million views on Weibo.
Weibo, I think it is.
Weibo?
There's something the kids are using, I don't know.
It's Chinese kids specifically.
Chinese,
It's like Facebook, but it's Chinese version, I think. Hey, if it's all you can eat, though.
That is problem.
They can blacklist you though. There
They
is,
can.
there is
You can
abuse
say-
in it, isn't it?
I think you.
I think if you're taking the tray, it's a bit much. Just go up a few times, don't make it too obvious. You just go, oh, shrimp. Just take the tray. And just tip the pork trotters on top and go. And have 30 bottles of soy milk as well, please, buddy.
30?
Make it 25. Right, I'm don't think I've heard you piss in the morning. Make it 25 tonight.
I wonder how long he sat there and ate that, because he could, the establishment could put a time limit in, couldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they can choose who to serve and not to serve, can't they? But not based on, any discriminatory
They don't choose-
reasons,
they-
like race and sex.
Oh, yeah. But then don't market it as all you can eat.
Yeah.
Because clearly this guy can eat a lot.
Yeah, but everyone else is eating normally. He's spoiling it for everyone, isn't he?
Oh. Then what do you want the Chinese authorities to do, mate? Take him out and shoot him? Sorry, buddy.
Blacklisting, they should have said, look, just 5 plates, mate, that's your lot,
Not the tray.
not the tray. No more tray.
Yeah, it's like a little asterisk says, maximum 3 helpings or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's not all you can eat, is it?
Yeah, but how many advertising says something with a little asterisk?
Yeah.
It's like, 50% free, and it's like, you look at the asterisk, 50% free if you buy this for 25 quid or something, and it's a scam, innit?
Yeah.
If it's a scam, you
But
know
it's
that.
all you can eat, not limited to all you can eat. Don't market it as all you can eat. But you get someone like Mr. Kang comes in, and I can eat a lot. I'm just going to take this tray and I'm going to dip these prawns on top.
I'd put all you can reasonably eat. That's what I'd mark it as.
But then what's reasonable? In a court of law, that's hard to determine. Reasonable for Mr. Kang.
Just tray of shrimps.
Tray of pork trotters.
Just go imagine.
Well, I think they're wrong. It's just that's why you don't have a communist state. You can't even go to all you can eat.
Yeah.
And that's the failure of it.
Fascists.
Communists.
Fascist behaviour.
Still.
Alright.
Thanks for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the favour aid. And I don't know. Always be careful with your restaurant wording.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Claire, and don't gobble all the trotters.